Sarah and welcome back to my channel. Maeve turned 3 months old on the 8th of August, so I am very late filming this. Wait, I last had Maeve weighed on the 7th of August and she weighed £14 14 ounces. So that was about 2 weeks ago now. Our daily routine has gone out of the window as we've been away on holiday. She's coped with it all so well and settles into all our plans without much fuss at all. Maeve sleeps through till around 5 AM now. I think she would probably go longer, but I tend to wake her up because my boobs are so full by then. I need the relief of feeding her. I normally wake up around that time and then I can't get back to sleep because I'm so uncomfortable. So I've been sort of feeding Maeve and then we both go back to sleep for a little bit longer. I'll feed her, wind her and then put her back down in her crib. I don't tend to change her bum then because I find if I get her out of her swaddle and undress her and that, it wakes her up too much and there's absolutely no chance of her drifting back off to sleep. Put her back in her crib and tuck her in and hope that she does fall back to sleep. This tends to be Maeve's most awake time of the day and I feel really mean because she's beaming up at me and I'm like pushing the dummy back in, trying to get her to go back to sleep. Rosalie normally wakes at around 7 AM then, and then that's it, but we're all up for the day. If we're off out early, then I do my makeup and get dressed and then get the girls dressed before we head downstairs. If we haven't got any particular plans or we're just staying in, then we normally head downstairs in our pyjamas, have our breakfast first, and then we come up after we've had our breakfast to get dressed. I make breakfast for us all and then I feed Maeve whilst Rosalie's eating her breakfast. This can take ages. She sits in front of the telly to watch it because I find she eats more then, and this can take up to half an hour. After she's fed, I'll put Maeve down in either her bouncy chair or the Moses basket and I'll get on and do a few jobs. It's like I'll put a wash on and I'll empty the dishwasher, stuff like that. So once we are all dressed and fed, whether we've done it before, whichever way around we've done it, we will then go out, or if we're staying in, we'll do an activity, we'll play some craft, or sometimes we just sit and watch telly. Maeve feeds have been a little all over the place lately as we've been away, so she's pretty much fed whenever's convenient. We've been out like for days out, so she's fed at lunchtime, or if we're doing an activity with Rosalie and Nick have gone off, then I'll sit down and feed her. But it is roughly every 4 hours, I guess. I'm still demand feeding, so if she's asleep or settled, then I won't feed her until she cries. Maeve spends her evenings downstairs with us until I put her in her crib at 10 PM when we go to bed. Playtime. Maeve loves her bouncy chair and playmat. She spends more time in the rocker than the playmat, to be honest. She spends more time in her rocker than on the playmat at the moment. She doesn't really like the playmat at all. She'll lay on there for a few minutes, but then she normally shouts because she doesn't like it. She's really starting to interact more with us. She smiles and coos. Bedtime. We are still putting Maeve to bed at around 10 or 11 PM when Nick and I go to bed. I usually bathe her in the evening around 7 PM, put her in a sleep suit so she's all ready for bed, and then she normally sleeps on the sofa next to us downstairs, and then we take her up to bed with us at around 10 or 11. When we go up to bed, I get ready first, so I wash my face and clean my teeth. Nick will then change Maeve's bum and swaddle her, and then I'll sit on the bed and feed her before laying her down in her crib, and then that's usually her for the night. Once I've winded Maeve, I will transfer her to the crib next to us. I'm still exclusively breastfeeding Maeve. She feeds roughly 4 hours, although I am demand feeding, so if I feel like she wants it before then, if nothing else works and she's still unsettled, then I will feed her, but I don't usually feed her until she cries, so if she's asleep or settled, then I won't disturb her. I feed her on one side first, wind her, and then I'll feed her on the other side. So if I feed her on the left boob first, I'll feed her, wind her, then feed her on the right boob. And then on the next feed, I'll feed her on the right boob first, wind her, and then feed her on the left boob. She's quite a quick feeder and we're normally all done, both boobs, within 15 minutes. I still write down the times I feed her and which boob it was on. I don't always do it, but if I've got my phone to hand, then I will, just so I remember when I last fed her, because sometimes like time will just run away from me and I'll like look at my phone and be like, oh, I haven't fed her for like 4 hours and she hasn't cried. My milk supply is regulating itself a bit better now. My boobs still do get very full just before a feed, so I normally know which boob I should feed on, but they aren't painful at all. I'm still managed to express some. I'm using a hacker bump to catch the letdown from whichever boob I'm not feeding on first during the first feed of the day. So when I wake up in the morning at that 5 AM feed, if I'm feeding on the left breast, I'll put the hacker pump on the right breast, and that will just catch any milk that would normally come out and go into a breastfed. I'm then catching it and keeping that to feed Maeve at a later date. This is working well, and I've got quite a good supply, which I need because we've got a couple of weddings coming up at the end of the month, which I will need this for. Maeve does take a bottle, which is amazing because it means that I can leave her if I need to. I don't do it very often, but if I do need to, like for example at a wedding, it means I can. Rosalie never took a bottle, so I just didn't go out for a whole year basically. So it's really nice that we can do this with Maeve. I'm thinking of filming a video on how I started to express without it affecting my milk supply, so if you are interested in hearing about that, I will do a whole video on it, so do let me know. The day Maeve turned 3 months old, I started to dress her in 3 to 6 month outfits and sleep suits. I do find if you don't do it on the cutoff, like it gets quite confusing because you're using like some clothes from 0 to 3 still fit, but some 3 to 6 ones don't fit. Oh, it's just, I get into a right muddle. So just on the day she turned 3 months, I was like, that's it. The 0 to 3 clothes are coming out and the 3 to 6 month clothes are going in. That's just the way I find it easiest to do it. Otherwise, she has so many clothes, I get like all confused. Maeve has all Rosalie's old clothes as well as stuff that we've bought. So there is a lot going on. So I just find this the easiest way to sort through it all. The 3 to 6 month sleep suits are a little big, but I'm sure after they've been washed a few times they'll be okay. The dresses are quite big, but the t-shirts and leggings seem to fit her well. Milestones. Smiling. Maeve does smile often now, but it really isn't an obvious smile. She doesn't sort of smile like this. It really is like... So for a long time I wasn't sure if it was a smile. Bless her little heart. Supporting her head. Maeve can hold her head up for small periods of time. I put her in her bumbo for a little bit today and she did seem to quite like that. I definitely need to put her on her playmat more for tummy time, but she really isn't a fan of it at the moment. Making sounds. Maeve coos and gargles now, which is so lovely to hear. Grabbing. I haven't noticed Maeve grabbing onto anything yet. She watches the hanging toys on her baby bouncer and playmat, but she hasn't reached out and tried to grab them yet. Maeve is absolutely gorgeous. She is such a little pudding and so easygoing. She goes along with all Rosalie's and Mummy's plans. She loves watching her big sister and is happiest when snuggled in your arms. So that's it, that's the end of Maeve's 3 month update. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and seeing how she's getting on at 3 months old. If you enjoy these videos, then please do subscribe to my channel. We do these videos every month so you can follow along with how Maeve is developing. Thank you, bye.